Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm a guy called Joe, and this is Bootstrapping Tools Let's Build, where we build through features and products using low-code applications so that scrappy bootstrappers and entrepreneurs just like yourself can become more efficient and effective without breaking the bank. Now, before we dive into today's video, please make sure to check out our YouTube channel. We have lots of videos on many different applications from Airtable to MySQL, Google Data Studio, Google Sheets, and also Google App Scripts. Lots of different applications out there to help you become better at what you do. If you don't see something that you are looking for, feel free to send an email to feedback@bootstrapping.tools or leave a comment in the section below, and we'll be happy to take a look at that application and also make a video just for you. Now, in today's video, this is going to be part 8 of our multi-part series for connecting Retool to Airtable, where Airtable serves as our database for an application that we're building with Retool, a low-code application. And what we're doing there is using product information. So we're kind of creating like a pseudo product information management system or a lookup system. Now, let's do a quick review on everything that we've built so far, just so we can get caught up here. So in all the previous parts before, we've built this app up until now. We have vendor selection list where if you click on it, the list of products will display in the UI for them. If you haven't watched any of these videos, by the way, please take a look in the description below. We'll have links to all the previous parts so that you can get caught up and figure out how to get to where we are today, where we're going to be adding in a map for the vendor location or the showroom location. Now, once we have the list of furnitures, we can actually scroll through it. And then if you click on one of those, that's going to show the information or the product information on the right-hand side. And also we have a nice tabbed container to display all the information that is available, including orders and images, and also the contact information. Now, in the contact information, this is what we're going to be working on today. So we're going to be integrating with the Google Geocoder API so that we can take the showroom location and then display it on a map for the user here. So first thing we're going to do is click on the edit app icon up on the upper right, and then we're going to dive right into this. So actually I had made this earlier just to get it easy for us to kind of show up here. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a REST call or a GET request for the API, and then you're going to just use Google's API for the geocoder. Now, if you haven't used the Google geocoding API before, it is one of the various APIs that Google does offer. They have lots of documentation on exactly how you're going to do it. We're going to be using a very easy one, which is just using the address to look up what the information is about that location, and that's going to give us back information about the latitude and longitude, which you'll need to display it onto the map. Now you just have to generate the API key for yourself, and then you'll be able to show it. Now this is displaying red right now because you have to actually select one of the vendors. So when we click on this, this is going to turn up to green. And just to show you what the data looks like, we'll hit the preview button. And essentially, just like in the sample data that we saw in the Google documentation, is just going to be all in here. And what we did here, just to go over quickly, is we did a GET request. So we created a new resource query, selected REST query for REST API from the list, and then select the action type as a GET request, and then put in the information along with the parameters. Now, the key is your API key, and then to the address is your other parameter, which we set to the vendor click handler. So when someone clicks on a vendor, it's going to update this request and then go pull the longitude and latitude information we need to populate onto the map. Go ahead and shrink this down. Let's select the Equerry chair and then go over to the contacts tab. And what we're essentially going to do here is we're going to drop in one of the map components that Retool offers, which is powered by Mapbox. If you haven't used Mapbox before, it's also just a map provider. Lots of different features that Mapbox actually provides you, including different layers of maps. You can create nice ones like topography or different colors. I've seen a couple of really nice ones doing bike routes as well as hiking trails. Now it starts off kind of small, so let's make this full width. And we can make that a little larger. We have a lot of room here, but we don't have to use all of it. But let's just drag this down so it's easier to see. Now, it's going to display a couple of different points by default in San Francisco. I have no clue what these points are, never bothered looking, but whatever, it doesn't matter. A couple of things that you're going to want to focus on is the zoom level, as well as the latitude and longitude, and then also the points. So the longitude and the latitude, we're going to kind of set this over to what we created before. So this is the Google geocoder.data, results, 0, and then the one we want is geometry. And when you look in the JSON data that gets sent back in the response when we hit the Google API, it's the latitude and longitude is under the geometry objects. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to select location, and then under there we have a lat and then a long. So for the latitude, we're going to select lat, and we can actually copy this and paste it in here, and then change this. Instead of lat, we're going to do long. And now this is showing over here in St. Louis, Chicago. We can actually adjust the zoom level. Let's make that 12 so we can start seeing some of the street names. Maybe even 14. I think that's fine. Now in the points, and this is where it's going to get a little fun. So we don't need all these different points. There's already 3 of them. We don't need that, so we'll delete those 2 out. And then in here, we're going to replace this with the Google geocoding data results 0 geometry, and then since this is longitude, we're going to select longitude. And we're going to do the same thing for latitude, just instead of for longitude, we're just doing it for latitude. So just go through the same process, the same steps: geometry, location, and then latitude. And now this provides us one element in the array for longitude and latitude. We can hit done, and you can see the little marker shows up over here. And we can do a bunch of things that you can select. You can trigger different queries when something gets selected. You don't necessarily have to. You can also show the current coordinates if you want to, or change the viewport. Really up to you if you want to do any of that. We can also change the marker if we wanted to over here. I actually don't have any nice icons for it, so we'll just leave that alone. I think the red default marker is just fine. There's also a lot of different options for Mapbox if you want to set up certain things, like create certain layers within the map. You can do that as well. I'm not going to get into it because it does get pretty complicated. If you are interested in it, please leave a comment in the section below, and we'll curate a special video that just talks about Mapbox and all the features that are available within that on Retool, so you can customize it into your personal app. But let's go ahead and preview this, actually, show you kind of what it looks like in live format. So we have the vendors, we have Dine Design. This is the Chicago design firm with the showroom. I'm gonna click on contact. We're gonna see that the map shows up with the correct zoom level and everything that we want. And you can also interact with the map by zooming out and zooming in, so that when you're looking at the clients and you're telling them where the showroom is, you can give them exactly what the streets are and what the vicinity is. Now we click on box cask, and then we select one of the products from there. We'll see that it also updates so that it's on Wright Street. So it's around in the same vicinity, but basically down the street from it. But that's it for this part of the video. This is actually going to be the last part in this series with Retool and Airtable. If you do have any questions, or you are looking to see any specific types of features between these two, please leave a comment in the section below. We'll take a look into that. I'm happy to create some one-off how-to videos specifically just for you and your questions. I'm sure that if you have a question about it, somebody else has a question, so don't be shy, leave a comment, or you can send an email to feedback@bootstrapping.tools. Of course, if you did like the video, please make sure to hit the like button. It's the best way to support the channel. Hitting that like button helps YouTube's algorithm know that this video was useful for the topic that you were looking for. And that's going to help other scrappy bootstrappers just like yourself find this video and learn just like you did. Of course, we do have other videos coming down the line. We might be looking at the Shopify as well as other applications like AppSheets. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and also the bell so you get notified once we release the next video and you can watch that and learn more and more and build yourself up so that you can eventually either wow your colleagues and your employers or start your own business and become an entrepreneur yourself. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you in the next video. I'm a guy called Joe. This is Bootstrapping Tools, and we're out.